Welcome to the very delayed next episode of Engines of SLR. Today we're talking about St. Lawrence and Atlantic GP40-3 number 3805. In 1978, Electromotive Division delivered GP40X number 7002 to the Southern Railway. The locomotive had two mixed cast P5A air horns and a steel bell. It was also meant for long hood forward operations and had a high hood. On June 1st, 1982, the Norfolk Southern would acquire the 7002. They would keep both mixed cast P5As, and they wouldn't do anything besides repaint the locomotive. In early 2001, the locomotive was purchased by National Railway Equipment. The locomotive was painted in the St. Lawrence and Atlantic Bumblebee scheme, but wasn't fully owned by SLR. It was renumbered to 3210, had its high hood chopped down to a short hood, and lost one of its mixed cast P5As, but kept one of them, and its steel bell was moved under the frame. It also now ran short hood forward. In 2003, when Genesee, Wyoming acquired St. Lawrence and Atlantic, the 3210 was fully purchased by them and was converted from a GP40X to a GP40-3. They turned it into a slug mother, painted it into G&W corporate scheme, and kept the mixed cast P5A. Here's a recording of the locomotive. In December of 1971, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad would acquire GP40 number 4093 from Electromotive Division. The locomotive was equipped with a Leslie S3LR air horn, and this air horn would unfortunately not last all that long. On August 31st, 1987, the locomotive would be acquired by CSX and renumbered to 6848. This is where that Leslie S3LR would be replaced with an Airchime K5LA, and this horn is still on the locomotive. Just like with the 3805, the locomotive was acquired by SLR in 2003. Unlike the 3805, this locomotive was stripped of its prime mover and turned into an RM-1 slug. The locomotive kept the CSX K5LA and hasn't changed much. Here's a recording of 805. This is by far my favorite of the four slug sets, not just because they both came from Class 1s, but because of 3805's fouled P5A. And yes, that thing is fouled, but will probably never be replaced. It's cool, though, because the GP40X's only 23 were ever made, and it was experimental, so it was pretty cool that these locomotives even existed, and that two of them are on SLR, with the other being 3806. It also is part of a slug set. But anyways, this might be the final episode of Engines of SLR. If it isn't, then the next episode will be the 04 slug set.